Caleres. Gonna run up, throw that down, and throws his first interception of the game. It's game over.
Unfortunately, here, history will not look at this game kindly as it was massively underachieving.
The Alouettes are gonna knee out the clock, and the Bombers, for the first time since 2018, will not.
Too bad now, Alouettes, if they want to go to the Grey Cup, they have to go on the road.
Will not be in the Grey Cup.
Hamilton by 25.
This day was bound to come eventually. I didn't want it to be this year. The Bombers hosting the Grey Cup this year. Big expectation. 5 straight years, 5 straight Grey Cup games, 2 of them with some success, 3 straight years of losses in the final. And there was a lot of hope and expectation. I want to start off with, for anyone who's not a Bomber fan, who are fans of other teams, who are fans of the Alouettes, whatever, I want to start off with, we Bomber fans have been incredibly blessed. Seriously, we have been so blessed. And that's why I know that the thumbnail here is going to stir a little bit of controversy. End of a dynasty on it. But I would challenge the question, what is a dynasty? What is it? So a dynasty to some people is 3 championships in 5 years. But then I would challenge that with, well, if there's a 6th year and they then win then, is it not one? So the definition of dynasty it's up to interpretation. It's not as clear of a definition as a lot of people would like to think that it is. And it's not even that I care about that, but I think of these past few years, and I think of how blessed we have been as Bomber fans. What the Bombers have done, what they have done, what O'Shea has put together, what everybody in management has put together is truly something special. And that is something that most sports fans will go an entire lifetime and will meet their end and will never see that from one of their favorite teams. Most people will never see that in a lifetime. We got 5 years of some truly wonderful stuff. And so we should be grateful. We need to be grateful. And the team that beat us today, or I should say yesterday, because of when I'm recording this, it's a really good team. It's a really good team. And I think the Alouettes have there's a very real possibility that they beat the Ticats. There's a very real possibility that we lost to the 2025 Grey Cup champions. We don't know yet. Still a couple of weeks. We'll have to see. This is going to be strange for me. This is going to be my first time in a while going into the Grey Cup game, and I'm not going to be stressing. I'm not going to be pulling my hair out. Not that obviously I would prefer my Bombers in the game and the stress that comes with it, but I'm just going to be there to enjoy it. I'm going to be at the game this year. I have my tickets. I will still go. I know some people are selling, and I understand why. Some people are more Bomber fans than they are CFL fans, and that's fine. I'm a CFL fan at heart who happens to be a Bomber fan. And I'm more protective of this league than I am other leagues. Like, I'm a big fan of the NHL. I'm a big fan of the Jets. I'm more protective of the CFL, though, you know. It's not as stable. It's homegrown in a lot of ways. It really is a grassroots sports league. And when in my usual reviews, I would go through the entire game. And I'm not going to go through everything. We do have some live reactions here. I am going to mention some key points here. Dembski's Nick Dembski was out for this game. It looked like it was going to be a game time decision, and we found out that he wasn't going to be in. Mustafa Johnson was injured, and Sean Oakman, because of a truly wild situation, was not going to play in this game and probably won't. If I were to take my guess, he probably won't play a CFL game ever again. I'm not going to get into that though. If you guys want info on that, you can search up Sean Oakman CFL and you'll get your answer. Winnipeg starts this game pretty rough, and I get frustrated, but I've seen this team come back. I have. And I'm not going to lie. I believed in this team till the bitter end. I had a lot of questions, and I can't say I'm entirely shocked with the outcome, but I am a biased Bomber fan, and I'll own that, you know? This notion that this season's a failure, we finished with a winning record. Do you understand how spoiled we are for a failure season to have a winning record? Like, I have friends who are like I think of like Scout over on the Elks herd and what they're going through, and they're finally starting to get some stuff going. But what a big step up for them was going to a 7-11 record and being really, really close to making the playoffs. And they didn't make the playoffs, where 6 teams make it in a 9-team league. So, and I'm not doing this to try to, I'm not doing this as anything against Elks or no. I'm trying to say how blessed we are, and we need to be grateful. We seriously need to. And the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of talent that's stuck around in Winnipeg. Guys like Willie Jefferson, Brady Oliveira, Nick Dembski, Zach Collaros, Ontario Wilson came back. Dalton Schoen returned. Guys like Adam Bighill were here for a while. Guys like Andrew Harris were here for a while until they weren't. There's a lot of guys that came in and made Winnipeg special. I think another guy who did was Lucky Whitehead when he was here. I think Winnipeggers will always have a special place for him. I think of a guy like Chris Strevler, who, is he a big meatball? Yeah, but he's our big meatball, you know? that Grey Cup attire that he had with the fur coat and cowboy hat is, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget seeing that. And that was really special. And I truly believe this is a dynasty. I think it is. For this level of dominance, the Bombers owned the West. No other West team got the chance to even sniff at the Grey Cup for half a decade. Half a decade, not another team from the West could even sniff it. That was because of the Bombers. And I understand a lot of people will disagree with me. I understand a lot of people will throw, and that's fine. And that's the thing that I've made very clear. It's an open term definition. That's just my opinion. That's my biased Bomber opinion, and I'll put that out there. Am I biased? I absolutely am. I'll be the first to admit it. And there was, as much as this game is disappointing now, there was some stuff to celebrate. So I actually want to kind of clip our reactions in here. As firstly, there was the touchdown by Terry Wilson.
He grabs his head. Terry Wilson face masked. And he goes in again, and he's clearly
He's
in.
in!
He's in.
He's
Terry
in!
Wilson.
He's in!
Touchdown! Touchdown to Winnipeg! Bombers in the end zone, even after a face mask.
Good thing they can't challenge.
And they're in.
They can't challenge.
Secondly, the conversion was good. And this was all in the third quarter. Conversion was good. There were some offsetting penalties. And then Montreal's on offense. But Allen would get the pick.
So, Davis Alexander going to fake the handoff. He's going to get some pressure here. Tony Jones missed the tackle. Davis Alexander is going to put that in. Yeah! Allen with the interception. Winnipeg with the pick, and the Bombers have possession.
Momentum!
Allen with one hell of an interception.
And then right after that, Bombers, I'm hoping, they can get a few plays, get it down to the end zone. They get it done in one. Ontario Wilson in the end zone.
Collaros in the pocket. Good block by the offensive line. He's going to try throwing that down. And he's going to get it! Wilson! Touchdown, Winnipeg! And the Bombers are showing some life. Ontario Wilson with the touchdown for the Bombers. Just one play after the interception by Cam Allen. Touchdown, Winnipeg! Yes! Yes! And just like that, this game has gotten a little bit closer.
Then at that point, this game just got a lot closer. Kicks convert, it's good. I'm thinking we're not even 5 minutes into the third quarter. And you know what makes this even better? Is that after all that, the Alouettes fumble the ball. And Evan Holm grabs it. Bombers got the football.
Defense though here. Alouettes going to try to get their momentum going again. Davis Alexander's going to throw that down. He'll connect a pass. Fumble! Fumble! And the Bombers are headed down! Evan Holm! And the Bombers have it! Improvement completion for Davis Alexander!
What was that?
But Philpott drops the ball afterwards! Fumble! Winnipeg back on offense! Can you believe it? Oh my God, because this is a clear completion, and then he fumbles it after. Like, Tyson Philpott has the ball. Has it. Hit out, loses it. That is a clear, like,
He has it.
there's no way that's not a catch. He goes for like another 5 yards. He's holding. Then he loses it. There's no way that's incomplete. Bullshit if they ever seriously consider that.
And I'm thinking this is insane. This comeback is a generational comeback in the third quarter. Like, this is just ridiculous. Bombers would move it down the field. Collaros dings the uprights. Defensive pass interference of Lorenzo Burns. Ball on the one. Both teams tried challenging some stuff. And then the Bombers get a nice touchdown.
First and one on the goal line. Terry Wilson in at short yardage. Terry Wilson is in the end zone. And the Bombers got the lead. Winnipeg is ahead of this game. Oh my goodness. What a comeback for the Bombers. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. What a third quarter performance for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And now they are leading the Alouettes 26-25.
And after all that, convert is good. 27-25 Winnipeg. And there would be a lot of that would happen, including Collaros throwing to Gabe Wallace, who I had to explain to Zach is not an eligible receiver. That is a rule. Zach didn't like that, but that's what that is. So yeah. And then this game wouldn't go the way we wanted. We lost 42-33. I want to give some shout outs to some people that have been, on Canadian Football Central, we've tried to kind of build collaborations with other creators and whatnot over the years. And I want to make this clear. It's not like I'm not covering this anymore, but this is an end of an era. This really is. It's the end of the Bomber era, man. And it's not that there won't be one again. It's not that we won't have success. It's not that we won't win a Grey Cup, in however many years. Who knows? But there's something different about this. There is. So I want to give firstly a shout out to a guy who's been a good sport, who I've had some great communications with, Alouette Central over on Instagram. You guys should check out his stuff. And he said that they ended the curse, and that's how everyone who is outside of Winnipeg views it, and fair enough. I want to give a shout out to Bombers Paradise, who has done a very good job covering this team on Instagram. They're just fantastic. Some pretty funny memes on there as well. Like this, there's one. What time are you coming? They sent a Bomber logo. What the hell does that mean? It means I'm not showing up. And there were certainly things to be frustrated about. And also a good shout out to Bleed Blue 204, who has been covering the Bombers and the Jets. He's been doing a fantastic job. And yeah, just a big thanks to the CFL community as a whole, as it's been incredibly generous to me. And in return, I try to be as generous back as I can. I want to thank you to everyone who joined the live stream of the Winnipeg Montreal one, as well as the Calgary BC one, and anyone who's joined for the World Series, any of those, we really appreciate all of your support. And so that then leaves us with where do we go, Bombers? If I'm trying to think like from a strategy perspective, I am hearing a lot of people calling for Jason Hogan's head, and I understand it. And if the Bombers were to relieve him of his duties and find somebody else, I would be okay with that. Do I think all of our problems magically solve if we get rid of him? I don't think they do. I'd have to see. I expect that Coach Mike O'Shea probably in the next 2 to 3 years is probably going to retire. Bombers will at that point need a new head coach. That's going to be a big thing. This is why I'm talking end of an era. This is really kind of the beginning of the end in a lot of instances. I imagine that Willie Jefferson soon will be retiring. I imagine that Zach Collaros will play his last year of his contract next year. And at that point, he will most likely retire. I expect that we're going to have some guys retiring in the next few years. I expect that guys like Stanley Bryant, Pat Neufeld will retire. Maybe Colin Kowski. I think we're losing some O-line pieces there, which will need some filling. I will need some young talent. Bombers will have the 4th overall pick in the draft, and getting some good guys will be good. I think Castillo will stick around a bit longer, provided that we keep him signed. Please do. But I think we're going to be. This is going to be a bit of a transition period for the Bombers. I will say, with the problems Jason Hogan had, Jason Hogan didn't give up 42 points. However, I'm not pointing the finger at Jordan Younger here. I think Jordan Younger, if we especially look at what he did last season, he was just fantastic. He, as a defensive coordinator, is really, really good. He just didn't quite have the manpower to do it. And I'm not blaming the players here. I'm just saying is that the Bombers spent the money the best way they felt suited, and I think they need to invest a little bit more in defense. In three down football, if you have a good defense, you can really, really make it hard for an offense to get going. And so I think that secondary just needed to be a little bit tighter at times. I think our D-line had struggled at times. And again, I'm not blaming any of the individual players. I just feel like being willing to kind of splurge a little bit at times would be really, really key. But big thank you to my fellow Bomber fans for supporting our team on this journey together. Thank you to all the viewers who have supported all these videos. I'll continue to be doing them for years to come. And over on Canadian Football Central, we'll be continuing to do all that stuff. And I'm excited for the rest of the CFL playoffs, as much as I'm disappointed about the Bombers and the Blue Jays. A lot of sports teams I love taking L's recently. Went to a Moose game today and watched them lose to the Texas Stars, who didn't have a win yet. So I haven't exactly been too lucky with my teams that I've been cheering for, but that's okay because there's more time. There is, and that's what's wonderful about all this. Yeah, it's funny. I had no script for this video. I had no idea what I was going to say. I needed time to process this, and we're uploading. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, we're going to be starting to upload some of our CFL clips, all sorts of stuff on numerous kind of channel on our some shorts and stuff on our YouTube as well as TikTok over for Canadian Football Central, Instagram. So we're kind of trying to spread the message. I want to have more off-season content for the CFL. If you guys have any ideas for that, please let me know over on Canadian Football Central or in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this game, of this season, of the last few seasons, of whatever it is that you got on your mind. I want to hear it in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. And I will see you guys next time.
Can they take the lead on this drive?